All right, hello everybody. We are live. Welcome to an all new episode of the DTI Takeover Show here on Total Praise Radio. I am your host, Miss Kayla. So y'all know I am always here to spotlight and shine light on somebody on a special individual. We love to offer our platform to those individuals who we believe deserve some shine on them, who we believe needs to be recognized for what it is that they're doing, trying to do, especially when it comes to our community. And so, this gentleman that I've had the pleasure to meet, I have with me here Mr. Scott McCam, also known as Mr. Power Empowerment. How are you doing, Dr. Scott?
I am doing great. I hope you are as well. I'm enjoying this liquid sunshine that we're having right now. Excuse me, here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So it's wet, but it's great. I'm enjoying it.
That's good. That's good. So, before we get into what Mr. Empowerment is, what it entails, let everybody know just a little bit about you.
Okay, well, as you mentioned, my name is D. Scott McCam. Most people call me Scott. From family, I am a native of the city. I'm in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Traveled around, but decided to make it home and work with individuals as myself, like I was labeled as a child. So I'm pretty much an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, as well as a youth advocate.
Mm,
So very strong youth advocate, and I've been blessed to be able to um, be an entrepreneur, follow my dream. My dream was to be my own boss and as well work with young people that were labeled like me, and I get to do that every day. So I have no complaints.
I love that. I love that. So, when you call yourself a serial entrepreneur, what does that mean?
Oh wow, that means that I over the years have tried all type of business ventures, and they excite me more than they make me nervous or I become afraid. As you know, fear, FEAR, is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. So I don't allow those roadblocks. I don't allow false evidence to shy me away. Entrepreneurs have to be risk takers. And I am definitely a risk taker. And I think I can attribute some of that to what I was labeled as being special ed, pretty much ADD. It's kind of like I read about people like me, studied people that were labeled like me, and most of the ones that I've actually had the privilege to meet, they
Mm-hmm.
don't have, you just say, think outside the box. We really don't have a box. So being a serial entrepreneur, I have several entrepreneur endeavors that's
Okay.
going on. Some of them are passive incomes that I don't have to do a lot with. I kind of got them started and they make me some money. But I am an entrepreneur in the tax game. I'm like a tax broker. I'm an arrow. So a lot of tax professionals can buy my software now
Okay.
since I'm a service bureau and they can work under me. So I create other entrepreneur endeavors. I do joint ventures with other people
Mm-hmm.
in business. And so pretty much entrepreneurship. I'm crazy about it. I teach it to young people. We got camps and we got workshops coming up dealing with pitch to the pros with some of the Shark Tank individuals, such as Damon John himself. So anything entrepreneurship kind of excites me. So I get involved a lot in business endeavors.
I love that. So, if you, as a young fella, you already said that you wanted to be your own boss. Like, what do you think was the motivation behind that?
My mother. Excuse me, I'm laughing because I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Kayla, but when you're a kid and your parent buys you something that you don't like, or especially a piece of apparel or article of clothing. My
Hmm.
mom bought me a pair of what we called in my day. I'm old school, so as in my day, she bought me a pair of what we call Jeepers. They were off-brand sneakers, right?
Okay.
And I really didn't want to wear those tennis shoes to school because I knew my buddies, my boys, was gonna rag on me, as we would say back then, because I wasn't fresh, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So pretty much, I told her I didn't like them. I pouted, and she she uttered the words, "If you don't like what I buy you, buy your own."
Yep, sounds about right.
And I was always kind of a kid that was kind of, I guess, a rebel. So,
Mhm.
I said, "Say no more." And I pretty much, like young folks say today, I jumped off the porch and went and got it out the mud. I began cutting grass, and then
Okay.
those same houses in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
I began raking their leaves too. So,
Okay.
in the fall, I saw that I could make money. I came from a line of entrepreneurs, some of them street, uh, pretty much as gambling places or doing what. And I would always see money being transferred and
Mhm.
people making money on my dad's side a lot. And I always had that hustle mentality. So I started cutting grass, raking leaves. I could buy my own shoes. I could buy my own clothes for school. And me having three other younger brothers under me, they became my staff,
Yeah.
because I would tell them, "You want me to buy your can and you're gonna do something, you gotta help me." So pretty
Mhm.
much with a milk jug back then, some gasoline and a little piece together lawnmower I started realizing that if I offered a solution, and we'll
Yeah.
talk about that later. Most people say if I offer a service, but most people, if you offer them a solution, and that was the fact they didn't want to cut their own grass, so
Mhm.
solution. So that's kind of how I started, and all the way through um, high school, and even college. I always had a business, even if I worked a job. I practiced the
Mhm.
magic part time, which was running my business part time. But I would work, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever I could do. I always just had to earn a dollar. I always wanted to earn my own money. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so you always had the hustle and the drive in you. So how did we get to Mr. Empowerment?
Um, Back in 2001, around 2000, 2001, going all the way to about 2008, I had a mentor that um, he became a mentor. He was a real estate guru in my area and city. Um, he would sell real estate. How you would get up and come to, they would have an infomercial. Back then, they
Mhm.
had a lot of infomercial. You couldn't sleep. You wake up, you watch an infomercial.
Mhm.
The infomercial would say, "Let us teach you how to flip houses," or "Let us teach you how to buy real estate without being a realtor."
Mhm.
So you got to be a real estate investor. So this guy, Mr. Jim Wood, used to give those seminars and workshops at your Marriott's, your Holiday Inns, your Hiltons, and people would from TV sign up. He'd give away gifts. They come in and get a free class, and then the aim was to upsell them into buying his real estate
Mhm.
classes or his or buying to his mentorship. So I would end up introducing him. Now that's a story in itself. I was doing another business with him, selling legal insurance with prepaid legal at the time. Um, in which going through, I became the first African American in my area to become what you call a director in that company, which I
Okay.
would average about $4,000 to $5,000 a month in selling legal insurance. And
Mhm.
he was the upline or the mentor in it. So we wind up spending other time. I'm always inquisitive. I would ask him questions. So long story short, I began introducing him and bringing him out doing these workshops in Marriott's and the hotels. One evening though, he was doing it and he didn't feel well. He was a little under the weather, and he said, you know something, you're doing the presentation tonight. I don't feel well. And I was like, I am? He's like, but
Mhm.
I've heard it enough. And he knew that I would, I'm the type person, if you give me something, if I'm really passionate about it, which is why when recruiting staff, I always
Mhm.
recruit passion over skill. If they're passionate about it, I can teach you the skill, but I can't teach you passion. So
Mhm.
I just look for people kind of like me, same energy. So what I did is I said, okay, I give it a shot. So as he was introducing me, he said, we call him and we call him Mr. Empowerment. Well, I'm behind this screen, really a big giant projector screen at that time in like 2000. I was like, they do? So I didn't give myself the name, and I said, okay. So it kind of everywhere we would go, I became, okay, well, I'm Mr. Empowerment. Well, I went through, in 07, my mother passed in a way. And during a dark period, just to be real with you at that time, I needed something else to latch on to.
Yeah.
And I started grabbing Mr. Empowerment, and I started doing the quote of the day on my social media, my Facebook page, Mr. Empowerment. I would do good morning, fam, quote for the day.
Okay.
And each one of these quotes that I would read, I would read scripture, I would read someone like Zig Ziglar, Mark Victor Hansen, Les Brown. So I would read all of these different. Jim Rohn was a great mentor that I never met him, but I read so much of his stuff and listened to his tapes. And set of my age, cassette tapes, CDs. I would listen to his motivational stuff every morning to pump me up. And with doing this, what was bringing me back out of depression, it could help other people. So in my following online, I would put, whatever I would read and it helped me that day, I would put the quote or the poem up, and then I would summarize it, what it meant to me in my life. So, and then I would put stay empowered, Mr. Empowerment. Well, I had to come up with a tagline for that. And my tagline God shared with me was pretty much who am I and what do I do? What do I do on a regular basis? And I don't feel like I'm doing work. One is I enlighten people. I give you information, or I teach you, or I bring to fruition something, and I acknowledge it, and I bring it to light to you first, Kayla. Then the next thing I do, I love seeing people smiling happy. I love making people feel good. So encourage was my next part of my tagline. So enlighten and encourage to motivate you. And the next thing was empower. Well, what does empowerment mean? If you look empowerment up, it says that empower, when you empower somebody, you give them the power to do something. So I would always give people, okay, and now here's how you do
it. Okay.
And, this, and I use that in my business principle. That's my blueprint. I enlighten, I encourage, and I empower. I tell you, okay, Kayla, did you know you could do this? And you say, no. Okay, well, you can. So I teach you about it, and then I motivate you and say, hey, you got to be your number one cheerleader. I'm pumping you up, but you have your number one cheerleader. And then they say, well, okay, well, here's how you do it. Here are the tools. Here are the resources you need for that. And then after that, if you are following the formula of success, which is not a secret, you get started and you don't quit, you're gonna succeed. If you don't quit, you're gonna get your breakthrough. So that's pretty much about who Mr. Empowerment is. And I got my little avatar behind me, and
I see that.
My cups and my lamps and everything. Mr. Empowerment. That's my person. That's my alter ego. That's my person that I can even tune into or tap into to get my wisdom and go back and remind me to stay humble and help other people get to another level. So pretty much that's who he is.
Got you. And you said something that I thought was very, I love that you mentioned that you give someone a tool. So, a lot of times we get motivated, we get encouraged. Yeah, you can do it. You can do this and that and third. You can do that, X, Y, and Z. And then it's like, all right, now go do it. And you have no idea what you're doing, how to do it, how to start, where to even start. And so I definitely can appreciate the fact that you are also providing tools along with your empowerment, along with your encouragement for that individual to be successful. So that's amazing. So now you mentioned that you work with the youth, right? Yeah. So what all do you do with the youth?
Well, I do a lot with the youth. Anything from leadership, character development, develop community mindsets where they have to pay it forward. Every one that I've mentored, any one of my mentees, who and some of them are very successful in life right now as well. Some young teenagers, some of them are adults with families now, in their 30s or whatever, and they, and pretty much with the youth. One of the organizations that I am a community liaison for is My Brother's Keeper Alliance, which is basically was founded by former President Barack Obama. And one of my mentees, when he was in college, he was in the School of Business here in my city. He saw me in a church. He approached me. He's got a wife now, but she was his girlfriend then. They were in college, and he approached me and asked me what I did in the church after church. And of course, I asked him, "What do you need? What do you need?" And he, after giving him my spiel, he said, "Well, listen, would you consider being my business mentor? Because I'm a business major, blah blah blah." So I gave him some stipulations, some parameters, and things, and he lived up to it. And over 18 years later, he's still with me. Excuse me. He's the executive director and the founding mentor here in South Carolina for My Brother's Keeper.
Oh, wow.
So he asked me back in 2015, 16, something like that, would I consider helping him. That at the time he had Youth United, because he knew I did this with more than just him. I had mentored other individuals. And since then, he's brought some to me to talk to, and they become mentees, and some brothers and sisters, and we've helped them start. All of them basically pretty much have a business too. It's fun. Keith Loren, he's in Thailand right now, creating his own potato chip. He's known as the Spice King. I met him in Miami when he was 19. I mean, he's been on Food Network, ABC, Good Morning America. He's been on a lot of things. He has a lot of spices in Walmart and a lot of food lines in different places now. So he just contacted me last week. Brad Nelson, Flip Market, the guy Antoine that's over My Brother's Keeper brought Brad to my attention because he knew Brad used to throw college events in a venue of mine, and asked me, told me I needed to help him, and did. So a lot of these individuals, Tyra Jefferson, she's at Fayetteville State in college now. She was 11 years old when she approached me, mentored just several. Son of Ice, his dad's famous for the UTFO crew. They did the rap song Roxanne. His uncle Jaquil with the group Houdini. He now lives here in the city. He does nothing but positive music now. He used to be an entertainer. He writes songs for schools and kids. Name of his company is called Sound of Learning. So I spend a lot of time. Matter of fact, when I get off here with you, I'm going to go have lunch, and then by 3:30, when one of the schools lets out, I'm going there to shadow and watch how some of their leaders and people are teaching the young people. So I spend the bulk of my time, Kayla, believe it or not, in this office. When I'm outside of this office, I'm at somebody's youth program. And other than that, I take Mondays off, Sundays and Mondays off, so that I, of course, serve God Sundays. And then Mondays, I pretty much take time off to visit family. So I'm a family and friends type guy. So I mean, we could go on and on, but with the young people, I start teaching young people. I do a lot of workshops, entrepreneurial and financial literacy.
Okay.
We are shooting a short film now called Trapped in the Summer, where we were awarded a grant through JJJ, YJAM, which is the Youth Juvenile Justice. We're working with judges now here to have some type of diversion program. In my city, it's top 25 per capita of violent crimes in the nation. Okay. It's the worst city for a woman to live in because of domestic violence. And our girls we also have our sisters keeper for the girls we started.
Good.
So we're generating where a mentor, when I was complaining when I was 13, 14, at risk, getting in trouble, I had a mentor that gave me a job working in the projects, and helping the maintenance men and stuff to keep me out of trouble. And I was complaining about uh, um, things and lack of resources for us as young people. That's why we're getting in trouble, because nobody's got anything for us.
Yeah.
And he had me repeat after him, which was, if it's to be, it's up to me. So I also remember that. So I figured if anybody should be doing anything, especially for people look like me, melanated boys and girls in my city, it needs to be me. I can't complain if I'm not doing anything. So
Yeah.
so I stayed true to my dream. So I'm living my dream. I'm able to be my own boss, own my own companies, and I'm able to work with young people. I don't have to deal with the bureaucracy and the red tape if I don't want to.
You don't want to.
So I think I truly believe I'm doing what God created me to do.
That's amazing. You have such an amazing story, Scott, to share with everyone. Hopefully one day, are you writing a book? Do you have a book?
I have a cousin. She's been pushing me. I have not written one book, one biography. I haven't thought of making any movies. I just do what I do, and because here's what I understand, Kayla, is I realize this. I will plant seed. I will plant trees, right? Mm-hmm. I had to realize this, and it's kind of sad to me sometimes because I want to be around forever. But I know that I'll plant trees that will one day bear shade that I would never get the opportunity to enjoy. Mm-hmm. See, those trees that I plant, somebody's got to pay it forward. That's why I always tell mentees and people, I don't need your money. I need your commitment, your obligation. You have to find someone, another young person, look just like you. And even if they don't, if they need your help, especially if they look like you, though, you need to give them this information. You need to destroy the crab in the bucket mentality amongst us. You got to help. You got to give them the information. Now what they do with it, that's up to them. If they don't do anything with it, Kayla, you can't feel bad about it. But you've done your part. So that's my thing. I leave. Either I'm gonna. My dad told me either you're gonna leave. When you leave this world, you're gonna be known as a legend on land. So I want to be a legend. I want the young people and the people of this city and the world, when they see my picture, they say, you see that guy there? He meant something. He really stood for something. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right?
Sir. Yes,
right.
Sir. That's true. That's true. So, Mr. Empowerment, how can everybody get in contact with you? How can they follow you on your social media?
Okay, I'm old school, so Facebook, definitely, I got that. That would be facebook.com /Mr. Empowerment. Okay. And then, of course, you can type my name in, Scott McCam, it'll come up too. My Instagram is at Mr. Empower 864. Mr. Empower 864. I got TikTok and stuff, but I never use it. I will not lie to you. I never use it. Of course, my YouTube channel is Mr. Empowerment Show. I'm currently working on my show right now. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of youth that people don't know that's in business, because our young people need positive influences that's in their own peer group.
Yes, sir.
So, and I have a website. My business website is Alpha Omega Tax Biz.com. Alpha Omega Tax Biz.com. So my tax company is entitled Alpha and Omega for a reason. Because we offer professional service from beginning to end.
I love it. It only
from
makes
beginning
sense.
to end. We also have let the people know that there's called the stock market game out there now. It's a game that the kids starting at age 4 at fourth grade can start learning the stock market and how to invest. So we have to change the systemic cycle. My parents couldn't teach me about money and investing because no one taught them.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn the hard way. So now we're going to be implementing and teaching it in the schools to the kids in South Carolina, and they're able to compete and do portfolios. And we also bring Damon John, the People Shark, who started FUBU on the Shark Tank. He has sponsored 2 years in a row over 200 boys and girls for the pitch to the shark. He actually came last year and put his outfit on and gave away a lot of merchandise, paid for the food, and brought a lot of the people who had been on Shark Tank. So we're moving and shaking. We're not just talking. We're making it happen.
I love that. So we do got to wrap this up. I appreciate you so much for being a guest on our show today, for dropping some knowledge, some encouragement, some empowerment to our listeners. And I hope everybody who are listening, I hope you guys are taking this information in as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Mr. Empowerment Yourself. I have put his contact information in our chat so you guys can read the comments. So if you want to get in touch with him, if you want to follow him, you need some encouragement, some enlightenment, you definitely need to hit up Mr. Empowerment. Once again, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. And I wish you much, much more success in the future. Everybody continue to follow Total Praise Radio. Follow us on Facebook at Total Praise Radio. Join the group. We got a whole group. Join Total Praise Radio group on Facebook as well. If you want to listen to the station, go to www.totalentradio.com. www.totalentradio.com. You're going to see two options. You're going to see TER Radio. You're going to see Total Praise Radio. Click that Total Praise Radio. Listen to the station. Let us know what you think. I mean, if you're there, if you want to check out Total Entertainment, do that as well. Until next time, everybody, I am your host, Miss Kayla, and we are signing out for the day. Peace out.